Hey guys, it's Adam aka Swimming Bird, and welcome to the newest Snapshot update for Minecraft 1.11.1, the easier to explore update. Well, it doesn't have an official name, but it probably should, because there's a lot to talk about in this. Definitely more than what we typically get in a 0.1. It's usually just a bug fix update, but this is more like a mini update, and there's a lot of new features. Let's start with probably the most popular, the one requested by a lot of the members of the Minecraft community, the ability to actually fly and not just fall with style with our wings. And as you can see here, if I use a firework when I'm gliding around, we will get this boost and we'll emit these particles. This changes depending on the duration, the flight duration of the fireworks. So if you forgot how to craft fireworks, I don't blame you. It's been 4 years since they came out, and I think I've barely crafted any in that time. But you just add paper with gunpowder, and if you add a little bit more gunpowder in the extra slots when you're crafting, you can get levels 2 and 3 to fly faster, farther, and higher up in the sky. We can fly so high very easily that I will disappear because we go too far up in the Y coordinates. Just from ground level, you can reach cloud level, and you saw I just jumped off a couple blocks height, and we managed to fly straight up. So this is a great way if you've got some extra paper and gunpowder around to definitely explore that much easier. And one thing you got to be careful with if you are flying around, if you accidentally click on a block when you're gliding, you'll launch a firework up instead of using it to boost, and you don't want that because you're just going to waste it and it'll fly off. So be careful of that. You want to just right click on nothing to use it as a boost. And fireworks with explosions, you might not want to have these if you craft them with a fireworks star, because at the end of it, they will explode, as you would expect, and they actually damage you now. So fireworks with explosions, you can use these as a sort of ammunition. They will explode in kind of a 2 or 3 block radius. Doesn't matter what the shape is, they'll still have that same explosion hitbox. And the farther you are away from the explosion, the less damage you take. So at close range, if you don't have any armor on, it only does about 2.5 hearts, so it's not too bad. And if you have full diamond on, it only does about 1/2 heart. So it's not, the worst thing in the world if you get hit by one of these, but it is a little bit scary that if you're used to them not doing any damage when they explode, it can be a little off-putting. But you could also use that to your advantage to attack stuff. And if you die from a firework explosion, it now says player name went off with a bang. So they thought of all that little parts for it. Now this is just a great way to get around. It definitely suits the exploration update, and I'm glad that they added it in, even if it was after the fact. So let's land here, and of course you can do that a little easier by spinning around. You just, softly land. And we're going to talk about the rest of the stuff in here, but I am very happy that they did add that. So we have a new type of nugget, an iron nugget. You can see they just kind of flipped the gold nugget and changed the color there to make it match with iron. And you can craft these, just like with the gold nuggets, into an iron ingot, or you can use an iron ingot to get 9 of them, so, equal exchange there. But another new feature with both gold nuggets and iron nuggets is that you can smelt any of this stuff here. So chainmail, as well as iron, any of the tools, gold, even the horse armors. If you burn this stuff in a furnace, it will turn into a nugget. Now, it's only 1 nugget. It doesn't matter if the durability is different. It doesn't matter if it's a big chest piece, compared to a little shovel or something. It still only gives you 1 nugget, which is a little unfortunate, but hopefully they'll go back and, change it, because definitely a chest piece should give you more nuggets than a helmet, I would think. But it is just a good way if you have a lot of this extra stuff lying around that you're not going to use, or if it's busted, you can get extra nuggets and therefore extra equipment and, ingots and stuff like that. So it is kind of a nice little addition. It rounds out the iron stuff to match the gold. And the attack indicator, you'll notice here, if I happen to have an enemy in my sights and you have your attack indicator set for the crosshair, then when it's ready to go, this exclamation mark will pop up right under there. You can see it's another little way to let you know immediately that it's like, okay, you are good to attack. As soon as that pops up, swing again. You can swing a little faster. I think it's just going to help a little bit with people's reaction time to attack as fast as they possibly can. So that's a nice little addition as well. And you might notice here that I am doing a little bit more damage if we have a group of enemies, especially because there is a new enchantment, and it is called the Sweeping Edge. And you saw there, I killed all of those husks at the same time. So this is an enchantment that increases the amount of damage that you do with your sweep attacks. So if you just have one level, it does add a decent amount. It's about 2.25 or like 2.25, a little over 2 hearts of damage. If you have level 2 of Sweeping Edge, it'll do a little bit under 3 hearts, but if you have level 3, the default book in creative, it will do a little over 3 hearts of damage. So that is about as much as you're gonna get with a normal attack. So basically, any sweep attacks you do will do about the same amount, and you'll be able to kill a lot of those extra enemies just as quick as you would if they were the one that you were hitting. So that is a very nice enchantment for dealing with groups of zombies and whatnot, and doing extra bits of damage to, make it so that they're not as much of a nuisance. So I think that's another way that they're trying to adjust people a little better to the newer style of combat and make it not as overwhelming to space your attacks out, because you'll get that extra sweep damage in there. And speaking of enchantments as well, the Mending and Infinity enchantments for bows, this is a little different now. So you're not going to be able to have Infinity and Mending on a bow at the same time. Now, in the Snapshot, you can add Mending to the bow and then add Infinity, but if you try to do it the other way, it doesn't work. So I think they have to fix that. But in survival, you're not going to be able to do this. You can still mess with it in creative and it'll work. And if you have any old bows, this is the time to enchant any old bows with both of these enchantments if you really want this still, because they seem to be kind of prestiged into the, like they still work in the new stuff if you've already done that. So you can do that now, and hopefully it doesn't get fixed, but it is just a way to make those bows not as overpowered as they are. If you can barely use any arrows and constantly fix your bow, that is really, really good. And a couple other things, the Totem of Undying. This is now Totem of Undying. It's fixed in the IDs, but the interesting thing, it used to just be called Totem, but I think this is interesting because they might add other totems. It seems to imply that they're thinking of maybe other totems in the game, because they're specifying that it's the Undying one there. And also, with statistics, they removed junk fished and treasure fished. Those were broken, so they just got rid of them. A couple of bug fixes. In 1.11, I don't know if you guys noticed, just playing, your mouse click position was lagging a few frames behind the crosshair, so it's a little off, but they did fix that. Any non-hostile wild wolves and ocelots, you were not able to put a lead on them before, so if you didn't have bones or fish and you wanted to lead those animals back to where you had that stuff, you can now do that. And then the heads, this is probably one of the more glaring weird little bugs that just happened to find its way into the full 1.11. The heads, the skulls, were all backwards in the inventory, so they fixed that. And there was one private issue. There's a bunch, like 34 different issues fixed, bugs and stuff, but one private issue that they did not share how to do, but there's a way to get God mode from a bed somehow, and they obviously didn't want to put that out there because, if you could get that and you're still playing on a 1.11 world or server, you could use it. So they're keeping that a little hidden, but that is it for this first snapshot. I am hopeful that maybe they'll add some more stuff. If not, this is still a nice little addition. Even just the ability to actually fly at long last is pretty good in my book. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this. If you want to subscribe, I am going to start a more survival-oriented Minecraft series just to fill the gaps between these updates, because snapshots, they're not too often anymore. They tend to wait a while and then reveal a bunch of features, but they are focusing on these smaller updates, so it probably won't be too long until we get another one. And, if I've got a bunch of other series going on, like Dragon Quest Builders and things you might be interested in if you like Minecraft. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time, though, for more Minecraft updates. Goodbye.